I think there are lots of good practices to reclaim from the 1950s. When we stop and think about it, it was one of the most burgeoning, successful eras of American Catholicism, with full rectories and convents and lots of priests and sisters and brothers. We had enough to send them overseas, etc. And all of the success of that era, I mean, they were doing something right. The one that I would particularly focus on as a religious educator is the Baltimore Catechism. Now, many of my friends may be surprised that I would say this, but I think there was a wisdom in the Baltimore Catechism. Now, it was excessive in all kinds of ways. It had 420, the original catechism had 422 questions and answers. We don't need that many. And it had all kinds of excessive things on maybe at times, it sometimes distorted our faith. It had 11 questions and answers on limbo and purgatory, and had none on Easter. And of course, there's nothing of the Bible in there, so Catholics grew up biblically illiterate. So I don't want to go back to the Baltimore Catechism. On the other hand, requiring people or urging people, encouraging people to have certain basic symbols of our faith. The Creed, for example, and maybe both creeds, the Nicene and the Apostles' Creed, the Ten Commandments, the Great Commandments of Love, the Beatitudes, the corporal and spiritual works of mercy, some formulas of our faith. Like the Trinity, the divinity and humanity of Jesus, the real presence of the risen Christ in the Eucharist. And I would say some core scripture quotes, John 3:16, that God so loved the world as to give God's only Son for our salvation, etc., etc. So a few core scripture quotes, key symbols. I think we should be still encouraging people to learn them by heart. It was a lovely phrase, not just by rote, but to learn them by heart, to take them to heart, and then as called upon, by their own faith, or perhaps by an inquirer, or perhaps by a critic, to be able to share that accurately and to know what Catholics in fact do believe and what constitutes the deep structures of our faith and that are still powerfully life-giving. I think people should still know them by heart.